Say, hey, hey now, baby. Oh, mama, don't play now, baby.
Morning after the full guys night. Had a bit of a sleep in, so I'm just cruising around to the cafe in our local little area. Meet the missus for some brekkie and a coffee. I know I've got no helmet on, but it's literally, if you check out my Strava today, you'll see it's not even a kilometre away. So whatever. Oh, it's a bit chilly. I'm planning on going for a ride after. So, don't know how far, it's meant to piss down I think later. But I'll rug up and get it done. Thinking of cruising around to the boys in Franger again at the shop. Want to get my stem, my steerer cut down. So maybe do a little video on a how-to for the steerer.
Say, hey, hey now, baby. So let's get one thing straight out, baby. Tell me if you love me or not, love me or not, love me or not. Up at the house on you, am I lucky or not, lucky or not, lucky or not?
What are you eating?
You gotta tell me if you love me or not.
Banana bread.
Banana bread. Is it good?
Been wishing for you, am I lucky or
Yeah?
not, lucky or not, lucky or
What
not?
else have you got? What juice? Show me. Pineapple and apple. Yum. Check this out. All right, breakfast all done. That was absolutely beautiful. Not sure whether I'm going to go big for a ride today. Save it for the morning. Call the shop when I get home. See if they're good with me coming down and have a little play with the Amonda. Kitted up. Bit fresh. Whatever. I'm gonna head down the shop, roll down the shop, gave them a buzz. They said that all good to come down. We're gonna cut the steerer down. So what I want, right? See here, I've got 15 mil under and 20 mil above. So I want to change it to 5 mil under and 5 mil above. So I just feel like I can go a little bit lower. My core strength is built up a bit and it looks pro as. So let's get it done. Alrighty, so just arrived at the shop. Just grabbing the steed. And we're gonna give this a crack. So should be pretty interesting. Probably most of you know how to do it, but I don't. So if you don't, it'll be a good video. Alrighty, so I'm here with Anthony, the shop mechanic here. So what are we doing here, mate?
Just making sure I get the right hacksaw blade in to start with.
Yep.
I am assuming it's a carbon steerer tube we're dealing with here.
Correct, yep.
So we use a 32 tooth per inch, fairly fine blade
Yep.
for cutting carbon fibre. If you use a coarser blade one, it'll tend to tear the fibres apart and you don't want that.
Okay, alrighty.
Already loaded in the vise is our cutting guide, so we get a nice square, tidy cut as well. So
Alrighty, so your cutting guide's this device?
this little block in the bench vise.
Yep. Beautiful. So I was hoping to leave 5 mil under.
Yep. So do you want your cap sitting flush, or do you want one spacer left on top?
What do you suggest? Some people say to leave a 5 mil on top. I don't know why, but what's your...
Some people, the theory behind that is that you then have the full clamping area of your stem on your steerer tube,
Yep.
but having 2 or 3 mil below the top isn't going to make that much difference, and I reckon it looks tighter if you have your cap sitting flush with your set. Take the front wheel out.
Yep.
Park that aside so it won't get kicked over. And before you loosen the stem, we'll just take the top cap and the spacer stack off.
What's the worst mistake that people could make doing this?
Measuring it wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use just a little needle file, and I'm just going to scribe a line around the steering tube,
Yep.
along the top edge of the stem. And I'll actually cut a few mil below that line, but that gives me a reference of our final height.
Now, I like to keep my bike pretty clean. On a scale of one to 10, what do you think?
I reckon you're on about a 9.8 there.
9.8?
There's a bit of dirt around the front derailleur mount, so
Oh no.
points off for that.
Oh, spewing.
But pretty good. It's certainly one of the better ones I've seen in here, because
Yep.
believe me, we see lots of filthy blacks here.
Yeah, I could imagine.
That can just hang there
Yep.
nicely. The next thing we need to do is take our expander plug out of the top of the steerer. And when I measure up me where to cut, I do need to allow for the flange on top of the expander bolt as well, so that'll end up sitting about, hopefully that lines up and you can see your scoring marks, so that'll end up finishing about there.
Yep.
Yeah, so line up me finishing mark. Bit of fudge factor for the top of that expander bolt head.
Yep.
That's going to want to sit about there. Yeah, so if you line that up, I've got about 3 mil between the top of the expander bolt and my sighting mark, so that's about where I want it to be.
Beautiful.
Just knit that up so the fork's not going to wobble around in the guide.
So is there a certain motion of cutting, or it's just literally just go for it?
Pretty much just go for it.
Yep.
Because having a guide like this makes it nice and easy. Make sure you've got a nice square cut, so just away you go.
Yep. Just cleaning off the burrs.
Just give the cut edge a bit of a tidy up.
Yep.
Now we have one nice clean cut.
Beautiful.
Make sure your headset's all seated nicely.
Does this area need lubrication at all?
Yep, does need a little bit, particularly where you've got steel bearing housings and often aluminium headset cups bonded into the frame.
Yep.
The steel and aluminium can react, so you just want to make sure you've got no potential for reaction there. And
Yep.
just a light little lick of grease on there is all you need in the headset cups.
Yep.
Put our spacer stack back on as we, in the order that we made sure they were taken off in.
Can we actually? Can we get rid of that 10 mil?
We can do that.
Sorry. So I stitched him up a little bit. I must have had too many beers last night because I've asked him to cut it 10 mil too long. But that's all right. We're onto it now. We're fixing it up. I'm just going to drop it onto a 5 mil spacer, and we had 15 in there originally. So take 2.
So we've got our top headset bearing in, the compression ring sits in centre of that.
Yep.
There's our top cover. Now one little spacer this time.
Beautiful.
And there we go. Yeah, if you just sort of zoom in on there, you can just see how the top of your expander bolt's about 2 to 3 mil below the limb of the step, or the top of the stem.
Yep.
And that makes sure you've got enough room for the top cap to do its thing, and just preload it without bottoming out on that expander bolt. If you don't leave enough room and your top cap bottoms out, it won't preload your headset properly, and we end up with a lot of play in your bearings and bad handling.
Okay.
So every time you grab the brake, you'll feel the whole front end just wobble around, and
Yep.
that's not really confidence inspiring for your handling when you go chuck it into
No, not at all.
corners. Like if you're doing an Arthur seat descent.
Yep.
They just nip that up, so you give the fork a bit of a wobble. Or try to give it a wobble just by hand.
Yep.
We'll fine tune it once we get the wheel back in on the stand. But yeah, you want it to be able to spin freely, but no free play. It's feeling really good. brakes, make sure it's seated up in the dropout. So I you just stick your thigh under the front wheel, make sure it's pushed up nice and firm in the dropouts. Do your skewer up. There you go. Make sure the front brakes good lever stroke, but not dragging on your rim, so that's all pretty good. And then just to finish off, you just make sure your handlebars are square and nice and tight. So the way I side up the handlebars, make sure they're square, is I'll just line up the front edge of the handlebar, deal with the tips of the fork dropouts, so you can see, just line the those up on there and get it nice and square, and then just do your pinch bolts up.
Beautiful. So we've got the torque wrench.
Got the torque wrench, particularly with the carbon stereo tube. You don't want to overdo that because you can damage it.
Yep. And what are we setting this to?
We're setting this to 5 Newton meters.
Yep.
Do them up, each one up a little bit alternately, a little bit at a time.
So alternating each side?
Yep. Just so you equalise that clamping pressure. And you would have just seen that torque wrench just clunk there as it's get its tension. And we'll do the same on the other side. And the way these opposing bolts work is that when one reaches its torque, it'll actually pull the other one off a little bit, so you just double check both sides a second to make sure they're up to tension, and we're done.
Awesome. So all done up front here. We're just checking the chain because it's been a while.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I think I need to do the chain. So we're just looking at the little chain checker here.
So we've got a little chain checker tool. Pop your two ends in between the links, and the way that little jig is sitting flat on the chain indicates that chain's warm.
Okay.
So when your chain is good, that central pivot on the checker should sit up about there.
Okay.
So as your links wear and your chain gets longer, that tool will sit flat. So when that's sitting flat, that means you need a new chain.
Yep.
But when I set up chain length, I use the small sprocket on the back and the small chainring on the front.
Yep.
Because that's when the derailleur's at its slackest position.
Yep.
And from that position, you can run every cassette option that the drivetrain is designed for.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah. And what I normally aim for is about a finger span space between the top jockey wheel and the chain hanging under it.
Yep.
That's closer to 2 fingers. So maybe would go an extra chain link when we put the new one on, but as a general rule, that will happily cover
Okay.
an increase in cassette size without needing to worry about chain length.
Yep. Okay.
But I would recommend doing both at the same time if you're going to do it. If you're thinking of doing a cassette anyway, I'd just do your new chain when you do that cassette.
Okay. Alright. No worries. And how many Ks should you get out of the chain?
It varies depending on the individual rider, how they look after it, and how they ride. But as a general rule, you'd say generally 4,000 to 5,000 K.
Okay, 4,000 to 5,000 K. And is that the same with the cassette?
If you stay on top of your chain wear, you should be able to get at least 2 chains to a cassette.
Okay.
Or a cassette will last 2 chains. If you're really good on your equipment, a cassette should see 3 chains.
Okay, awesome. Alright, so I definitely need a new chain, but I think I'm just going to wait a little bit because I'm going to change over my cassette soon. Go from the 1125 to 1128 because I'm planning on doing a bit more hill climbing and it hurts with this 25. Thanks, Anthony.
No dramas at all. Catch you next time.
Come see him, he's a legend, knows what he's doing. I would not have been able to do that myself. Much better than the absolute Everest of a thing I had on there. So I'm just grabbing some bars now. These bars, these Cliff bars, they're my favourite things in the world. Love them, these ones. That one there, it's got caffeine in it. So good. Fills you up, kills that hunger, and gives you a little kick as well. I love these. I spend a bit of money on these here. They're the best. Alrighty, so all done. Just come outside, it's freezing. I might just ride home and do this video. I can't be bothered. Save my legs for tomorrow. I'll go sit in the warm on the couch. Shut up, truck. I might go sit in the warm on the couch and just edit this video. Save my legs for tomorrow. Maybe do some work around the house. Yeah. Catch you soon.
Say, hey now, baby. You gon' make me hear with it later on, baby. Say, hey now, baby. what I need of the gate now, baby.
Whoa, tell me.